Alright, so today I'm going to be reviewing the 2023 Kia Niro EV. It's fully electric. So when shifting, you're going to turn left to put it in reverse, one click over to put it in neutral, one click over again to put it in drive, and then to put it in park, just press the button. If you look at the dash, instead of your traditional dash where it's showing miles per gallon or gas mileage, it just shows range. So we have 260 miles left of range. All right, so on the Kia Niro EV, this has got what's like paddle shifters on the left and right, and in most gas-powered cars it's going to be to shift gears, but in this it's to shift between the braking power. It's called regenerative braking, and so if I press to the right, it's going to give us less braking power when I take my foot off the gas, and then if I press right again, it's going to give us even less power, and then I can turn it all the way off to level 0. Good. So it's currently on level 3. If I press to the right once, it's going to downshift to the second. I'll press it again, and then I'll show that once I release off the gas, it's going to come to a stop for me. I'm not even applying the brake, and it's just going to cover it for me. And the reasoning behind the regenerative braking is to reduce wear and tear on the brakes over time, because when you're constantly braking at every single stop, it's going to put wear on your brakes and rotors, and just cause maintenance sooner. And so the point of the regenerative braking is to prevent you from needing to brake as often, and gives you a much longer time for things like maintenance. So on a full charge, you'll get about 450 miles. We're at about half charge right now, so it's up to 255 miles left of range. So one noticeable difference that drives people towards electric over gasoline vehicles is the instantaneous gas response time. In most gas vehicles, when you press on the gas, it's going to take a second for the car to actually take off. But because this is electric, and it just is battery powered, there's no delay when you press on the gas. So one thing I thought was interesting is that it shows the miles that's left, and shows how much would be left if I were to turn the AC off. So I currently have the AC running just on low, but if I were to turn it off, we would be getting 16 more miles than originally. One thing I want to point out is that most gasoline cars, you have a grill in the front that allows for airflow to cool down the engine, but because this is electric, there's no need for a grill, which allows for a more sleek design in electric vehicles. So if you'll notice how it says we could gain another 16 miles. If I just turn off the AC, it's going to jump up to 270. So if you'll notice how it says we could gain another 16 miles. If I just turn off the AC, it's going to jump up to 270. So one thing you'll notice about the acceleration, like I said earlier, was the instant throttle response time. So you'll see once I press on the gas, just how quickly it takes off. So one thing that people commonly fear about before buying an electric car is range anxiety and going on long trips. They fear that they will run out of battery life if they're going on a long trip. For this car specifically, it has a personal charger that we just keep in our garage, so we're able to charge it every night. But if we were to go on some sort of long distance trip, we're able to just bring the charger with us, and it pretty much just connects to any wall outlet. And when it comes to the price, because we are not having to go to like gas stations and things like that to refuel, and so just from my knowledge, it brings up the electricity bill up like 100 to 150 bucks a month. All right, so when it comes to charging You just pop this thing open and it slides open, and then you've got your charging ports right here. Just pop the little caps off. And then over here, this is a universal charger that I think works for most electric cars. So this is the one that works for our car. For some cars, it'll take this one, which is just, this wouldn't fit in the one we're using today. And then you're just gonna push the button, and then it plugs in right here. And then obviously you have to pay over here. It's just tap to pay. All right, so one significant difference about gas compared to electric is charge time and refueling. So typically at a gas station, it takes about 2.5 minutes per car to fill up a tank. Whereas something like this, to completely fill up from empty to full, it could take 8 hours. If I were to just fill up, say 100 miles of range on the EV, with a fast charger, it could only take 5 to 20 minutes, but on just your traditional slow charger, it would take multiple hours. All right, and that's all for the review.